No one is ready for this, and I'm being so serious when I say that. The Mavericks are about to have their first win streak of the season. Okay, after last night's win over the New Orleans Pelicans, we're going to turn right back around and we're going to smack the Memphis Grizzlies at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Welcome to a special Saturday morning edition of Your Mavs, a Dallas Mavericks podcast where all are welcome. Y'all better behave. I am your host, Ethan, the advisor, Clayton. And guys, I got to tell you, as much as I would like for us to lose every game for the rest of the season just for lottery purposes, I like winning. Winning is fun, even if it's against one of the worst teams in the NBA, even if it's against what some would consider to be a cursed franchise, right? I don't care. I like winning, and I like the way that we won. We're going to talk more about kind of what happened on the court last night, but let me just double down on this real quick. Okay, we were sounding the alarm early in the season, and for good reason, right? We've been playing terrible basketball, right? And I'm not going to say that last night was pretty. I'm not going to say that all of a sudden the Mavericks are a really good basketball team. But what I am saying is that maybe we slightly overreacted. Okay, right now we're only 3 games back from a play-in spot in the Western Conference, and whenever you have a stretch of games like we're having right now, where you're playing New Orleans Pelicans, and then you're turning right back around and playing the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah, sure, it's back-to-back. Nobody loves that type of scheduling. But I do like that type of back-to-back opponent, right? Where combined they have 10 wins, right? The Pelicans are now 5-11, and the Grizzlies are now 5-12. Maybe I had that backwards. Either way, the Grizzlies are also playing without Ja Morant. They're playing without Jaren Jackson Jr. So, I think we might go on a nice little streak, and then on Monday, who knows what will happen? We're going to play against the Miami Heat, who have been hot to start the season. Okay, I think they're not the top offense in the NBA. That's the Rockets, but the Heat are right on up there with them. Really fun team to watch. But listen, no one is ready for not only just this little winning streak that we're about to go on, but no one is ready for this future young core that the Mavericks have started to put together. Okay, pretty soon, and this is intended to be a joke, so please take it that way. Pretty soon, we're not going to hear any mention of Nico Harrison. We're not going to hear any mention of Luka Doncic, right? We're going to be talking about the Max Christie trade, not sending him away, but the one that brought him here, and all of a sudden he's the best three-point shooter in the NBA. Now that's an exaggeration, but he is putting up numbers so far, whether it be catch and shoot, whether it be corner three. He even showed a couple of top of the key type of threes last night. He was just in his zone and put up a career high 23 points. Now, I'm just blown away by the leap that Max Christie has taken from last season to this season. Now, I know that whenever he was first traded to us in February, he had that look, kind of at the start, he had a nice little stretch of games. And we're like, hey, this is something here. And then he went cold. So we'll keep an eye on it. I don't know that he could continue shooting at this clip the entire season. But goodness gracious, guys, he's a lockdown defender. He's a walking bucket. And we're not just talking about three-pointers either. He's gotten a lot more aggressive about attacking downhill. So this young core that the Mavericks are putting together between, Max Christie, the number 32 in royal blue, the main event, the Rook, Cooper Flagg. He also put up a career high last night, 29 points. Okay, in fact, he filled up the stat sheet, 29 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, a couple of stocks in there. And guys, 3 weeks into the season, maybe a month into the season now, it's very clear to me that Coop and clutch go in the same sentence, right? You love to see the type of output that he's having in the clutch moments of the game, whether it's leading a charge from, whenever we're trying to dig ourselves out of a hole in the fourth quarter, or, the overtime buckets that we've seen him get. Whenever the ball is in his hands during those moments, he is not hesitating at all. He is on attack mode, and he is shooting the ball efficiently. Okay? That is not something we were seeing from him early in the season, right? He's, again, 18 years old. He is a rookie. And, people were sounding the alarm way, way too early. And I'm not going to sit here and way too early say that he's going to win the Rookie of the Year. Okay? Because last night showed us what a stacked rookie class we're looking at right now. not just the people that were on the court last night. Again, Cooper Flagg, Derek Queen for New Orleans Pelicans. Holy cow, this guy is the real deal. Kind of doing some Jokic type of stuff, right? He had 8 assists in the first 9 minutes of the game, put up a double-double in that regard. So, yeah, he's incredibly impressive. And then Jeremiah Fears, which, by the way, I love his jersey, right? I'm sure you guys realized this long ago. I'm kind of newer. Zero Fears, that is an epic jersey. So I have no plans of buying it. But if you're a Pelicans fan, that's a no-brainer. Go get a Zero Fears jersey. But homie was lights out last night, okay? We're looking at such an incredible draft class. And, for Cooper Flagg to be shooting 56% and averaging just under 19 points a game over the last 5 games, putting up stats on both sides of the floor, you would think that he is a runaway for Rookie of the Year. And that is just simply not the case, okay? Between the rising stock of Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears, there's also Cooper Flagg's college roommate, okay? The guy that he, got buckets with at Duke University. We're talking about Con Knipple. Holy cow. And if I had my say in front office decisions, and if the Mavericks are really going to be buyers and or sellers coming into the trade deadline, I don't know how things are going to shake out. We're getting conflicting reports all over the place. But if I had my say, we would offer everything that we have, except for Cooper Flagg, and except for Max Christie, and except for Derek Lively, for Con Knipple. Okay? Now, a couple of days ago, it was reported that LaMelo Ball may or may not be open for a trade. It depends on what you believe, right? There was LaMelo Ball even came out and said yesterday, that didn't come from me. That was an unverified source. I love playing here, so I don't know what to believe, okay? But if you're Charlotte, maybe you're trying to blow it up, or maybe you just want to be patient and watch this young core stick together and see what happens. But again, I want Con Knipple, right? If that means that we're also trading for LaMelo Ball and some other salary fillers, great. That would be the only scenario where I don't have to get draft picks in return, okay? So now, let me just take a step back. I know I'm all over the place. I appreciate you guys sticking with me, even though I'm the most random podcast host for the Dallas Mavericks, probably in the business right now. But listen, there's so much going on behind the scenes besides what's happening on the court, which, to revisit, we lost in a heartbreaker to the New York Knicks. Okay, we turn back around. We get a solid win from against the New Orleans Pelicans after being down 15 points. Right, we stormed back, and that fourth quarter comeback was very much led by Cooper Flagg and Max Christie. But, and this is a big one, we're not doing a great job of starting off hot in games. And I mentioned a few moments ago that we're just a few games back from a play-in spot, and I don't want there to be that 2 timelines approach. However, at some point, unless he's just traded before he comes back, we will see AD back on the court with this squad, right? That seems to maybe be figuring it out a little bit. And then that may be Kyrie Irving's cue, hey, he's back, I'm coming back, let's do this, let's go all in. I don't know what's going to happen, but there's so much up in the air as to whether or not we want to put pedal to the metal or if we want to tank or all of that. I still am going to keep talking about trades, okay? Who knows what's going to happen? Nobody is untouchable in the NBA anymore. Okay, so that includes LaMelo Ball. I think it would be fun to see him play alongside Coop for the next 5-6 years. I don't know what his trajectory is going to look like. I don't know if he is as injury prone as he seems to be, which that's kind of a red flag. That's something that a lot of Mavs fans don't love about Anthony Davis. But hey, if we want to be a winning squad beyond this season, we have to really start looking at this young core of Cooper Flagg, Max Christie, and Derek Lively. And I'm including Derek Lively in that conversation, even with his being injury prone, even with his inconsistent play so far this season. I got to say, the games that he's come back from injury, yeah, he's been on a minutes restriction. But whenever he comes in, he is playing so hard. He is immediately impacting the floor on the defensive end. And I love the effort I'm seeing from him on the boards. So You take everything as is, and then you add an elite guard whenever Kyrie Irving returns to the floor, or if we're making trades, or if it's a both and, right? We got Kyrie Irving and a new guard that we just traded for. Those are the kinds of players that Derek Lively needs to be on the court with, okay? And if he is, we've seen in the past, he can be your third or fourth best player on a championship roster, okay? I say that because, we went to the it's so weird, so crazy that it seems like it was forever ago, but it was just about 16 months ago that we were in the finals, okay? So Derek Lively has proved it before. PJ Washington has proved that he can be a valuable asset on a championship roster. But at this moment, he's 26 years old. I'm not necessarily calling him part of the young core. He's like, almost 10 years younger than me, but that doesn't mean he's young in NBA terms. I'm talking about probably 23 and under. That's why Max Christie, Cooper Flagg, and Derek Lively are the guys that I'm mentioning that match that criteria. I'm stumbling all over my words today, but thanks for hanging in there anyway. I just went on a weird rant. It started with Con Knipple, then it went to LaMelo Ball. The point is still the same, guys, whether we're talking about specific trade packages or what you think makes the most sense. That's kind of where I'm at with this roster building project here, is those are your guys. Build around them, okay? I love the minutes that we saw those three on the court. I don't have the plus-minus stats for you, but I do know that we were down by 15. We were playing ugly. And then all of a sudden, we have those three guys on the court. They're all three high-energy guys. They all have an extremely high motor. And as I mentioned a few moments ago, Cooper Flagg is really starting to find his rhythm at shooting from the field, right? Again, 56% over the last 5 games. Max Christie is shooting 60% from corner threes. He's a high motor guy. He's attacking the hoop as well. And then you got Derek Lively, who is a rim protector, a rim runner, all of the things. I don't know if we've seen him shoot a three yet. I remember Mark Cuban said over the summer that the Mavs are going to live and die by how Anthony Davis and Derek Lively shoot. Maybe he was just totally way off base whenever he said that. I think everybody knew that right away. But I think there's still that potential leap that we could see happen this season if we have the right personnel on the floor with him. Okay. If it's Anthony Davis on the same court as Derek Lively, we're not as likely to see that. Okay, we got to have guys that can grab boards or be in the dunk spot. But if we have more of a personnel that will allow us to space the floor more, we can invert our offense a little bit. That allows Derek Lively to be open in the corner at the top of the key and let it rip. At this point, I'm kind of just rambling a little bit, but I am excited that we won last night, even though it's against the Pelicans. I am excited that we're probably going to be looking at a 2-game winning streak because now we're facing the Grizzlies. They beat us last time. In fact, they smacked us last time. But that was when they had Ja Morant, okay? That was when they had Jaren Jackson Jr. They have neither of those players right now. So what are they going to do? Put Gigi Jackson on us and watch him go off? Who knows? That could happen. Vince Williams has had a nice little stretch since Ja Morant has been out. But I have every expectation that we're going to win tonight and have our first actual win streak of the season. Let me know what you think in the comments section. And again, I have not done a good job of hyping this up or asking for your help. I would love to, right now I'm at about 20 subscribers. I would love to be at 50 like a month from now. So around Christmas, I want to be at 50 subscribers. So yeah, any help that you can offer. If you have just a diehard Mavs fan that probably already listens to all the other Mavs podcasts, but wants a unique perspective, I make a point to not listen to what everybody else is saying before I record, because I want my takes to be fresh and unique. And hopefully I'll start to add in my own bits that you're like, you're definitely not going to get that anywhere else except for your Mavs, right? But yeah, I would love it if you liked, subscribed, commented, all of that jazz. And I would love for this community to grow, because I love talking Mavs, okay? Whether you agree with everything I say or not, I don't care. Let's talk about it, okay? But anyway, this has been fun. I might do Saturday morning pods moving forward. I might not. I haven't decided on what my rhythm's going to be. But y'all be good and have an awesome weekend. Go Mavs.